The conclave to choose a new pope will soon be underway. Pope Benedict was known for dipping his toe into the Twitter sphere, but what about the next pope? For more on the role of social media in the church, we're joined by Irene Tomaitis, online editor at the Toronto Sun. Thank you for joining us, Irene.
Thank you.
What did the last pope do so well in regards to social media?
Well, was certainly the first pope to be in the Twitterverse and introduce that to the world as a method of communication. So Pope Benedict, when he left, had about 1.6 million followers on Twitter, which is no small amount. Maybe considering there's 1.2 billion Roman Catholics in the world, but 1.6 million Twitter followers is new and something that had never been done before. And traditionally the church is not what you would consider an early adopter of new media. So it was an interesting. I don't want to say experiment, but it was interesting to see how the world took to that.
Well, no doubt, an interesting experiment gone well, I'd have to say. There's so many social media followers following the Pope Emeritus, once was Pope Benedict XVI, on Twitter. I guess the question is, going forward, exactly why is social media so important right now for the Catholic faithful?
Well, it's certainly a new way for evangelization, really. It's a new way to spread the word. So if you think about the Internet as a place of prayer for some people, it wouldn't be going to church every Sunday. You could do it, any day of the week, really. And so it's certainly a new way to spread the word. And the other thing that social media does so well is networking and interactivity. So, they can hear from the people, hear what the concerns are, and not just from people who are at the Vatican or in Rome. People around the world. It's a different way of communicating, certainly.
Well, that's the question everyone wants to know going forward. What will the new pope need to do to reach out to his new faithful? Do you think the new pope, once he has been selected, do you think he's going to sign up for a Twitter account as well?
Well, what they've done with Pope Benedict's account is that they've actually frozen it and taken down or archived all of the tweets. So they could revive that account because it was a generic account. And it may be popular. A lot of the cardinals in conclave, or to be in conclave, are on Twitter right now. So that could certainly continue, going in. A lot of the front runners in the game are already on Twitter and communicating to people that way. So I would see that happening.
Well, I have to ask you, Irene, we know that the media has been trying to get a hold of the potential popes. We know all of the cardinals have actually been told not to speak to the media. There's almost been a vow of silence needed to be taken. They're saying that there's been too much discussion and an issue of Vatileaks as well. So do you think that they're really trying to keep things hush-hush in the interim? There's, of course, always the issue of a cardinal tweeting out during the conclave. Do you think there's some fair concerns in regard to social media during such a technological era like right now?
That's always a fear. I suspect that there will be no tweets from any of the cardinals during conclave, especially because it's so obvious and you can trace it back to one person. But you never know what we see. I don't suspect many of them have their iPhones in with them and ready to tweet, but you never know.
Once the new pope is chosen, do you think that there is going to be let's say, a Twitter posting sooner rather than later? And do you think they're also going to expand and maybe go onto Facebook as well?
It certainly depends how traditional or how forward-thinking the new pope will be. But I do think that the tweet will go out quickly, and I think that was very smart because we talk about new media. To the generation of future Catholics, it's just going to be media. It's just one other form of communication that's in addition to TV and newspapers and radio and all the traditional things. So I think it would be quite smart to include social media right off the bat. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm already following the Pope on Twitter, so I look forward to seeing the new tweet once it comes out. Thank you for joining us, Irene. I really appreciate it.